I will now call to order the THPRD Budget Committee meeting for May 18th, 2023. Jessica, will you please take the roll?
John Casino. Elizabeth Edwards.
Present.
Heidi Edwards.
Here.
Chris Howard.
Here.
Barbie Miner.
Here.
Felisa de Monteblanco.
Here.
Alfredo Moreno.
Here.
Tia Ping.
Here.
Carolyn Wee.
Here.
Natalie Zenner.
Okay, thank you. I will now open the floor for a motion to approve the April work session minutes as submitted. Do I hear a motion?
This is Heidi. I motion that we accept the meeting minutes from our last meeting.
Is there a second?
This is Barbie. I'm happy to second.
Thank you very much. All in favor? Say aye or raise your hand or emoji.
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Okay, thank you so much. Rolling right along to agenda item 3. Jared Isaacson, Finance Director, will now provide some general budget information. Jared, I'm going to kick it over to you.
Good evening and thank you. Again, Jared Isaacson, Finance Director for the district. We are going to provide some feedback on some questions and comments that we received at the last budget committee meeting that we felt that we should do so. We have provided this information within the budget committee packet. We've added it on to the end of the Q&A section. I'm going to discuss the district's minority, women, emerging small business program. We've had challenges implementing our procurement procedures, which have a strong emphasis in utilizing local minority and women-owned businesses, emerging small businesses, and service-disabled veteran-owned businesses. It has been an uphill battle when we have faced businesses closing their doors and varying staffing levels due to COVID and the pandemic. Another unfortunate reality we face is that our current software system, Springbrook, does not track our goals within the program. And so we've had to maintain our tracking as best we can outside of the system. We are maintaining a list of self-defined businesses and are currently doing business with 13 of those self-defined businesses within our work. Our hope is, and we are planning on implementing and tracking our program within our new system as soon as it is up and running. And with that, I will turn it over to Aisha Panis.
Good evening, board members and members of the Budget Committee. I'm Aisha Panis, the Deputy General Manager for the district, and I was thrilled at your last meeting when you asked more about our asset management plans. And so we did provide some information to you, but just coming back, we did some very light scoping with the help of some partners around the region and the work that they've done to implement asset management. And so what we have found out is that there are many different options available. We will be doing that kind of system look to determine what we need to have in a system to track all of our different assets. And so we're looking at the different options that'll be available to us. We also did just a very, very quick back of the envelope type of assessment on what the costs may be to implement this. And so in the first kind of 3-year period of selecting, filling in the information into the new system, working with consultants and training staff, we anticipate that the system could cost us between $120,000 to $170,000, but that would be over the course of the first 3 years. The annual cost would really depend on what system we select, how much of our information is in that system. And so the ballpark that we're sort of looking at is maybe around $50,000 for an ongoing basis to keep an updated and regularly serviced and supported software solution. So if there's no questions about that, I can turn things over to Sabrina, who is going to talk to you about the after-school program.
Good evening. My name is Sabrina Taylor Schmidt, and I'm the Recreation and Aquatics Director for THPRD. I'm going to talk about the after-school program. There were some questions about enrollment levels and tuition. So I want to first thank the Thrive team and Kristen Smith, the Recreation Department Manager, for capturing this information. As you can see, we were on an increase before COVID. We saw our numbers continuing to grow in the Thrive program. There was a need for childcare and after-school programs, and we were looking at expanding our numbers. We had actually expanded our sites, we had expanded our program, and then COVID happened, and you saw the dramatic drop in attendance. And then after COVID, you can see we are still not at the numbers that we were before COVID. We are slowly increasing our numbers, but nothing to the pre-COVID numbers. And when we talk to the Beaverton School District, this is not just a THPRD situation. They are seeing the same thing happening with their other providers within their programs, where they are seeing providers not able to continue with their schools, or they're combining programs as well, because people are working differently. We have a lot of people remote working and making different decisions about their childcare programs. And so we're continuing to evaluate how we can provide care for kids and what families need. One thing we had offered in the year of 2019-2020 that we were excited about, that we were unable to offer, was year-round program. So it's a program where people can pay a flat fee and get not only after school, but their summer camp programming. It's like evening out your water bill by paying that one fee. We are offering that program again this year, and we've seen interest in that. So we're hoping that'll be a great program for our community members. And if we go to the next slide, please. One thing you can see here is that we are committed to subsidizing this program. You can see our tuition is very competitive compared to other providers in the BSD school program. So these are other providers of childcare offering the same service for after school care. Our program is affordable, we feel, compared to the other programs, and we actually did not raise our tuition this year. We chose to keep it at the same price because we recognize that there's a lot of things going on for families, and we did not see any increase in folks attending our program, and we want to make sure that we can make it available for people. So if we were not subsidizing this program, if this was not one of our programs that is within our values, and not to go into the cost pyramid, but underneath that, you would see this program at these other prices. So I think the next slide is overall questions for any of these slides. Question from John.
Hi, thanks. Not so much a question, but more thank you for putting that material together. I was mostly interested in the after school care, and I really appreciate those numbers and that follow up. We are soon to be utilizers of the Thrive year-round program for a incoming kindergartner. So we're very excited to see that option. And just thank you for your commitment to offering those services. Thank you.
Well, we're not going anywhere. We're definitely committed to the after school program. It is a key program for us, and we do have, quite a few students in it, and we're at quite a few schools within the BSD school district. So we are going to continue with this program. We also just want to continue to be nimble enough to see if there's any other options to meet families' needs. So we'll continue to explore what it is that families are looking for to provide the support they need to be successful within our community. Is there another question?
As for me, hey Sabrina,
Hi, Tia.
are we still doing any drop-in care? I know that we're potentially looking at Cedar Hills and then it got taken away. And so I just wanted to see if that's still on the docket at all.
Yeah, we are still exploring our drop-in childcare program, but we are still really struggling with staffing. And drop-in childcare is probably the hardest one for us to not only staff but manage. To be honest, with just the nature of the beast of how many people are you going to have come into the program, and how many staff do you need for it? So we're prioritizing the registration programs because those are the easiest to staff. But as we can stabilize staffing, we do want to do drop-in childcare. We do recognize that can be a really additional tool for parents in their childcare bucket,
Yeah.
and so it is something we would like to add.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, Tia. Another hand. I can't see who the hands are.
I think that's the end of our hands. But I also just want to express thanks to staff for not only following up in writing with answers to the questions that came up, but also preparing these slides and going a level deeper for both the budget committee members and also any members of the public who are watching. Really appreciate that transparency and closing the loop. It's really important and appreciated. Should I, absent other questions, should I move us on to the next agenda item? There we go. Okay. So now is the time set aside for on our agenda for public comments. I understand that no public comment has been received for this evening's meeting. Can staff please confirm this?
That's correct.
Okay. Thank you very much. Then we'll move on to agenda item number 5. I'm going to open the floor to budget committee discussion regarding the district's proposed fiscal year 23-24 budget.
Just appreciate staff's hard work and the discussions that happened last month or so. I think the budget's really reflective of values from both the community and the board, and it's a values document as well as a financial document. So really excited about what's in there.
Checking the chat, checking for hands. And I know we had a more robust conversation going in deeper at our last committee hearing, but this is an opportunity in case any other thoughts, observations are coming up for folks. But I don't need to belabor it also. Okay. Well, I'm going to move us on to the next agenda item then. I'm going to open the floor for a motion to approve the proposed fiscal year 2023-24 budget. And you'll see here the desired motions on the slide.
This
We have
is
two
Tia.
different
I can
motions.
do it.
Thank you.
I move that the budget committee approve the proposed fiscal year 2023-24 budget and the appropriations contained therein.
Thank you, Tia. Is there a second for that motion?
This is Felicita. I'll second.
Thank you, Felicita. Okay. All in favor? Well, wait, hold on. Yes. Okay. We do one motion at a time. All in favor, raise your hand, say aye. Thumbs up. Okay. Excellent. Any opposed? Motion number 1 is adopted. Okay, now I will open the floor for a motion to approve the property taxes to be imposed. That's motion number 2.
This is Tia. I move that the Budget Committee establish and approve the general fund property tax levy at the permanent tax rate of $1.3073 and establish and approve the bond fund property tax levy in the amount of $8,626,616 for the fiscal year of 2023-2024.
This is
Sabrina.
Heidi.
Yeah, Heidi.
I
do I
will
have a
second that motion.
Thank you very much. Okay, all in favor, raise your hand, say aye. Aye. And do we have anyone opposed? Okay. Motion passes. That moves us on to our final agenda item. We have our next board meeting on June 14th of 2023. Doug or anyone else, any comments you want to make before I adjourn?
No, I think we're all set.
Okay. A hearty thanks to staff and to my fellow committee members and to our board members. This has been a great process. There being no further business, I now adjourn our meeting. Have a great evening, everybody.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, team.
Thank you, Elizabeth.